What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the Lootbox podcast. And we are going to open this thing up real quickly. My name is Eric, and I am here with a couple familiar faces to this podcast. I'm here with Tom.
As always, looking handsome.
And I am here with Brandon, who is a mainstay on this podcast.
Previet.
Yes. So, it's only the three of us today. Our fourth and fifth member that was supposed to be here with us, we're not able to make it, but that is okay. We are bringing this podcast back.
They're a bunch of losers, it's okay.
Yeah, pretty much. We're bringing this podcast back, doing it in a little bit of a different way. Not to get too personal life here, but due to moving and the main people that are going to be on these podcasts, with the exception of Brandon and Zach, currently are all basically be living under one roof. We'll be able to actually have each other physically here at the mic, which will actually help with, I feel like it'll help with sound and with flow a little bit, where there won't be as many pauses and stuff for me to edit out. It'll make these podcasts a whole lot more seamless, and I hope it improves the quality of them a little bit. So, main topic of this podcast we're going to be talking about today is E3. E3 was obviously last week. I tried to get this podcast filmed last week, but we had a whole bunch of different timing issues and a lot of things going on at once. So, fortunately, this is a little bit later than I wanted it to be. But all in all, I felt like it was I don't know. I felt like this E3 was a little mediocre, and I think I'm in the minority there.
Yeah, I mean, certain shows were definitely a lot worse than other shows, but there is definitely still quite a few gems in this show. Thanks to some leaks, Walmart Canada, thank you for that. Cut down on some of the surprises. Like, if you can imagine at Bethesda's conference, if they revealed and showed the gameplay from Rage 2 in the same show, that would have been pretty impressive. But unfortunately, Walmart Canada is great at keeping secrets. So, yeah, that kind of ruined that surprise. Although there's like plenty more surprises in the conferences and stuff, but a lot was spoiled by the Walmart Canada leak, and the Division 2 was another one.
Yeah.
They just dropped the Division 2 like at the show without anyone knowing it beforehand. That would have been quite a big reveal. You know, so
yeah. What did you think, Brandon? How did you think?
From what I've seen, everything, I kind of skimmed over E3 this year because I wasn't able to watch it consistently due to work. I went over some of the highlights. It's pretty obvious. Each developer or head or whoever had their current show tried a different approach to things. I'm not as enthusiastic as I used to be back in the day, but I think that they did what they came to do, and whether or not that was successful depends on the target audience and if they reached who they were trying to reach. And some developers corner, I feel like they succeeded, and others I felt they failed, and others they just kind of got swept under the radar.
Yeah, I mean, there was a couple shows that I just thought were absolutely pointless in general. We'll get to those. Generally, throughout this podcast, I'm going to be going off of a good friend of mine, Vivid Shem. He is a Twitch streamer as well as a YouTuber. And he was pretty heavily involved in E3 this year in terms of reviewing it and covering it on his Twitch streams, as well as on our friend Matt, also known as Create Q's E3 podcast that he did. And I'm going to be using his report card that he gave as sort of a guideline and sort of, comparing what he said to what my own opinions are. As well, just using this to sort of get summarize what each of the conferences brought to the table. I feel like I kind of want to start with EA, but I feel like everyone already knows what EA's conference was about. Sports, and more sports.
I wanted to talk on this for a second, because the problem with EA's conference was that it felt very uninspired. That no one who talked really... It didn't feel like to me, maybe I'm in the minority here, but it didn't feel like to me that they were passionate about what they were talking about.
They did a 45-minute pre-show that was the most cringe-fest garbage I've ever seen in my life.
There's a combination of over-trying, people being unenthusiastic about what they were talking about, and and all the and then they kind of teased everyone by saying a skateboarding game and calling it Sessions instead of Skate 4.
Yeah.
Which was hilarious. The Twitch chat was the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life when that happened.
I mean, I feel like the only highlight EA had out of the entire show, was Sea of Solitude. I wasn't even inspired by Anthem.
Anthem just reminded me of Destiny.
Anthem looks like Destiny, but like, Destiny's not a bad game. And BioWare is known for their storytelling, so maybe Destiny with a better story, maybe it will actually, be something. I'm quite curious about it.
It looked like Destiny banged Titanfall and they produced Anthem.
A little bit.
Doesn't have to be an illegitimate child. That one's going to be up to BioWare, I guess. But I trust BioWare. This is their main team. This isn't the same team that did Andromeda. So this is their main team. Sorry for mentioning that.
Yeah, that hurt me a little bit
but
on the inside.
This isn't the same team. This is their main team. Some of the people that left the Andromeda project to make this game. So, and we talked about this previously, like a long time ago. I think this is make or break for BioWare at this point.
Maybe.
Anthem has to be successful, in my opinion, for that studio to continue doing what they do. And I don't want them to go under. But if Anthem fails, then...
It's possible.
I mean, that's 2 strikes. I guess they have 1 more strike after that.
Dragon Age.
Maybe.
They got a Dragon Age game in the process.
Then if they fuck up Dragon Age, then that's going to be the 3rd strike.
Yeah.
And then that studio will be out. But
I do remember they did the battle because they're trying to revive Battlefront 2, which I believe is admirable. You're trying at least. I'll give you that.
It's only a matter of time before someone broke the continuum with the loot boxes.
Yeah.
And of course it would be EA, but it was only a matter of time. It didn't have to be EA.
Yeah.
But they broke the continuum, and now they're trying to resend everything they were doing, and a lot of companies have learned from their mistakes. Like Battlefield, same company, EA, ironically, and everything in Battlefield 5 is going to be free. There's no premium pass. There's nothing like that. There's no season pass or anything like that. Everything will be absolutely free.
I'm actually going to get to that in a minute because there's something that made me very questionable on that.
Go for it. Since we're talking
Battlefield 5?
So yeah, Battlefield 5, if you I don't know if it's on the website, but if you pre-order the game and you get one of the special editions, it says you get 20-something supply drops, and that sounds really fucking suspicious. That puts some red flags up when I heard that.
If it's all cosmetics...
If it's like Battlefield 1, it's just cosmetic. A lot of things in Battlefield 1, when you cracked open the crates and stuff, which was really cool animation, by the way.
It was. Took a long time, though.
Yeah, it took a while, but it was fun watching it. At least for the first 50 times.
Yeah.
But when he cracks it open, and it's usually some kind of skin for a gun, or like a, gunslinger revolver, but when it has like a spur on the bottom, something like that. Something cute and cosmetic you can show off to other people in your gameplay.
Because I have a lot of friends who are very hard line against any microtransactions in a full price game, which I can understand. So I could see how them having, even if it's just cosmetic, if they still have a loot box, pay for cosmetic system, people are probably gonna get really pissed off at that. Not as much as Battlefront 2, obviously, but I can see the issue there.
Yeah, where they went wrong with Battlefront 2 is that they had things in not loot boxes, but they were in loot boxes, weren't they? The heroes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I never played the game, so. But they had heroes in loot boxes, and heroes directly impacted the game.
Mm-hmm.
And tipped the game balance. That was the difference. If they start putting the strong guns, and this is any company out there, if you start putting strong guns or weapons, extra armor, more speed from boots for some reason, stuff like that. That's when it gets to the bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and that's where you ruin your game, and that's what happened to Battlefield 2. They ruined their game because of the it directly impacted game balance. It was not just cosmetic anymore.
Oh yeah, well yeah, but that there's a line in the sand between, because there's 2 groups of people. There's the Jim Sterling approach and the Total Biscuit approach. The Total Biscuit approach is, as long as it doesn't affect gameplay, it's okay. And then there's Jim Sterling, to where it is hardline, no microtransactions in full price games is acceptable under any circumstance. And people often take which side of the line. And I can still see people saying, well, now I can't customize my character the way I want because I have to unlock the cosmetics I want to use, and that pisses me off.
I view it 2 ways. So you have the Fortnite model, and I know Fortnite's not a very good example because it's a free game that you can pay.
Yeah, exactly. That's the difference.
But Fortnite kind of gets around the sort of customization thing, because if you look at it, and me and James were talking about this yesterday, you can't buy anything you want to in Fortnite. You can only buy what they put in the store.
Oh yeah.
And so it makes it so everyone has something different. You very rarely see too many people with the same skins in one game of Fortnite.
Yeah.
Which is really, really, really cool. And I kind of like that you don't have everything unlocked at the very beginning format, and you actually have to play to try to get your customization things. A good example of that is, I guess, Rainbow Six Siege, where you can still unlock everything just by playing the game a whole lot. You know, I don't feel like I have to spend money on the game. Obviously, for the new heroes and stuff like that, you do. But I don't feel like when it comes to customizing your guns and stuff like that and your appearances, you don't necessarily have to spend money on that. You can just play the game a whole bunch.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you brought up Siege because people are comparing the new battle because they announced a really big new update for Battlefront 2. You know, it's going to add in the shit we wanted from the start with actual squads and better mechanics and redoing the level up system and shit. And I feel like they're trying to Rainbow Six Siege it because Rainbow Six Siege died for a while. That game was like dead in the water. And
Rainbow Six Siege didn't start great. Rainbow Six Siege didn't jump off until the year one pack came out when all the new heroes came out because that's when I got into it.
Yeah,
Ubisoft
and then they kicked it in high
seems
gear.
to like to revitalize their games after they failed in the beginning. They've done that a lot. The Division, another example.
Yeah, which we'll get to in a second when we get to Ubisoft.
It got better apparently after the first 6 months. The first game, not talking about the second game yet. The first game apparently got a lot better after the first 6 months.
Yeah, Ubisoft is really good at coming up with garbage and then making it good again.
They added a PvP.
They're trying to revive For Honor.
They added a PvP mode to the Division. They did a bunch of squad improvements and new challenges and stuff. And it actually worked.
But moving on to a conference that surprised me was Xbox. Because last year, Xbox was absolute garbage. By far, I would argue that Xbox 2017 Xbox was worse than EA last year.
They tried to only brag about their hardware improvements. And no one liked that. And then when everyone compares them to PlayStation, it's just going to happen. And then PlayStation did all those games, Horizon Zero, all these games during their show, and everyone's like, wow, that's what I want. I want video games. I don't really care about this $500 console that Xbox is trying to throw in our faces for no reason. That didn't even get support until 3 or 4 months after it was released. So, yeah, I mean, and this year Xbox did a great job. I was watching their show. They had game after game after game. There was not many breaks between trailers.
Xbox also broke Kingdom Hearts 3, and that won it for me, but we'll get to that later.
Well, Kingdom Hearts 3 was a horror. It was kind of with every show. I'm surprised it wasn't at the Devolver show. For no reason. Hey, guys, Kingdom Hearts 3. I know we had nothing to do with it, but...
We'll go ahead and throw this out there now, because I don't even want to cover Square Enix later on. I'm shocked that Square Enix was not the show that broke Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah, you would have
The only thing that even Square Enix was a pointless show. We'll go ahead and get this out the way now. Square Enix was a pointless show, and you guys know I'm a Square Enix super fan. Square Enix pushed their name on it. I'll look at buying it, and I was so fucking disappointed in the Square Enix show. I mean,
every single thing was revealed before.
They had nothing.
Yeah.
Shadow of the Tomb Raider was revealed before. Just Cause 4 was revealed before. They mentioned nothing about the Final Fantasy VII remake. There's supposed to be a new Star Ocean game that they're working on. Didn't reveal that at all. So there was so much that Square Enix just didn't bother. The only thing that Square Enix talked about, the only thing that intrigued me even remotely, is the Final Fantasy 14 Monster Hunter World crossover, where the behemoth from Final Fantasy 14 and the Cactuar is going to be in Monster Hunter World.
I heard about that.
And there's going to be some Monster Hunter World related quests. Like the Ragalos and the Rathian are supposed to be in the Final Fantasy 14 quest. So that's pretty cool. I like that crossover. It's going to get me back into Final Fantasy 14, and it's got me grinding again on Monster Hunter World. So that was a good reveal. That was it. You could have revealed that anyway.
Radar.
Yeah, but that was it. I saw Final Fantasy and I was like, "Oh fuck yeah! They're gonna jump right into Final Fantasy VII now. This was to make my dick wet. Now they're gonna really give it to me." Nope, they completely skipped right over it. Went to Kingdom Hearts 3 and showed the exact same trailer that Xbox showed. Like it was pointless. At least Sony showed Kingdom Hearts 3, but they showed a completely new trailer. They added something else to it. It's like, hey, Xbox got you wet. Here you go. Here's the big thing. It's like you did what Square should have done.
Yep. Now let's go back to Xbox that we were talking about.
Yeah. Now
Before
back
you
to
went on an
Xbox
absolute
before I
tirade
went on a
right there.
fucking tirade here.
I want to talk about the Gears of War double debate that they did during the show.
Oh yeah,
Did you
that
catch
was
that?
funny. I saw it. That was fucking funny.
They did a what was it, a pop figurine like game with implementation,
Mm-hmm.
and then they did like a Gears of War tactics game, and everyone's like, okay, that's not bad. We know what we really want though. And then you thought it was over, and they just revealed Gears of War 5.
Yep.
It was a double debate. It was the funniest thing ever. It was really well presented.
Great.
So clap, Microsoft. That was actually really well done. Mm-hmm. And Gears 5 looked fantastic.
Oh yeah, I haven't played Gears 4, and I think it's on the
Neither
Game
have
Pass. If it's on the Game Pass, I'm gonna have to give it a try.
It is on the Game Pass.
Okay, I definitely got to give it a try then because Gears of War 5 looked fantastic. That game
I'm
looked
actually
amazing.
intrigued.
Yes, for sure. And
Like,
then,
it's one of the few things I'm sad about not having an Xbox anymore because, like, I loved Gears back on the 360. I played 1, 2, and 3. I didn't play the ones that came out after that. I forgot there was one before 4 that came out that nobody bothered with.
There was a prequel one, and I actually
Nobody bothered with
I
that.
played a demo of that, and I didn't like the way it felt. It felt like they were like, okay, this is a prequel, so we're gonna make this feel like a prequel, and I didn't like that direction.
Yeah, but like no spoilers. But like I'm because I knew I was never gonna play Gears 4 because I don't have an Xbox anymore. Well, I still have the old 360, but it's not on that. So like I basically looked up the plot of the game. And it seemed pretty interesting, although it was probably better to experience it. But I'm like I'm gonna have to watch a Let's Play of the 5th one because like it seems to be very focused around this chick from the 4th game and that locust symbol that her grandmother gave her. And I'm like, oh, I'm like really interested now.
I have a feeling that her mind's getting corrupted by it, and she's.
I want to fight with the locust.
There's going to be some kind of decision point that you might have to make as a player to like choose to like revive the locust army or
give
like,
me friendly locust.
Kill them. Yeah,
give it. Give it. I want it.
So that's gonna be really interesting if they go that direction. But one more thing before we move on because we're running up the time here.
Yeah.
I want to talk about one more thing in Xbox's show, and that was Devil May Cry 5.
Yeah.
Because I love hack and slash games, and I might be like one of the only ones that still likes hack and slash games. But I love the Devil May Cry series, and this isn't like a cock tease DMC. He was edgy Dante with short hair.
Yeah.
This is an actual direct sequel to Devil May Cry 4, and the creator of this series was on stage at the show and said this is the best game he has made. So,
that's a bold claim.
That's a bold claim. He said that on the stage. So, yeah, looking forward to that. Definitely going to check that out when it drops.
Halo Infinite looked pretty decent too.
I'm waiting for gameplay.
Just to throw that one out there. Halo Infinite looked pretty decent.
I was waiting for gameplay.
Yeah.
Like, I understand why they did it because they want to return to form with the more mysterious and the atmospheric treatment of the action-packed one that Halo 5 had, and that game fucking bombed. But I'm hopeful for Infinite, but bring it to PC, you sons of bitches. Yeah. The series started here. Bring it back. I had to get like an emulator to play Halo 2 on PC so I could finish the game for the first time in my life.
And then of course, random last little bit, Battletoads. Where the fuck did that come from?
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah, like,
Battletoads.
What?
Battletoads.
A rage-inducing arcade game?
You want Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? No way. I want them Battletoads, baby.
Back to the days where you had to pay off the arcade manager because you punched a hole through his arcade machine. Because you were playing Galaga and got abducted for the 15th time.
Oh, God.
That did not happen to me. I'm just using it as a broad example.
Oh, God. All right, so moving on. Like I said, we're going to skip Square. That didn't happen. Conference never happened.
But you know who we're not skipping?
We're going to skip Devolver solely because I didn't see a single trailer of any games in Devolver that actually piqued my interest. It was just a bunch of memes. It was hilarious. Now I will give Devolver credit. Their show was fucking hysterical. It was entertaining to watch, but E3 is about the games, and I got almost no games.
We'll talk about the balance between passionate presentation and content in a second, because I'll talk about that when Nintendo comes around.
Yes.
But my absolute all-time favorite company had a show.
Yes, and
Eric knows exactly the company I'm talking about. and it is Bethesda.
I saw his erection from my bedroom and knew immediately what was going on. Bethesda was coming on. I had to come watch it.
That show gave me an erection that lasted longer than 4 hours. I'm just saying right now. I loved everything they presented in that show, and I will not take any excuses from anyone else that the show was bad. I loved everything they showed at that show, and Todd Howard just like he made a public appearance. All the memes about him, all that stuff. He just embraced it like a champion. He came out and just dropped all that Fallout content, all that Elder Scrolls content.
Let's be
like
honest, guys. Skyrim Alexa version is the only game that they needed to show.
They memed themselves with the Alexa version.
You know that is an actual thing, right? That Alexa thing is the actual thing. Y'all know that, right?
Yeah,
I want to buy an Alexa just for that now.
So, Todd Howard, great fucking job, man. You knocked it out of the park during the show, for sure.
See, so I was talking to a friend of mine, and apparently at the beginning they played music from like Rage 2, and like the audience was just like silent,
yeah,
like
well,
nobody
that
cared.
was the only bad part.
Again,
that was
I
pretty
feel
cringy.
Like I didn't watch the whole thing, I didn't have time, but like I've heard things.
That was pretty cringy. I'm not gonna lie.
It would have been better if Walmart Canada, which they even joked about in the beginning of that conference,
he had a great joke too.
Didn't reveal it.
Pete Hines.
If that was like how they were, that would have been a fucking fantastic
That's what I'm
reveal
saying.
for
Like,
Rage
imagine
2.
if they didn't reveal Rage 2 early. Rage released like back in 2011, right? 2011, 2012.
Somewhere around there.
It's been like 7 years. No one could have predicted. If you say, yeah, I could have predicted Rage 2. No, you could not have.
Yeah.
No one knew Rage 2 was coming. If Walmart Canada didn't leak that, that would have been a fantastic way to start a show. And the fact that they were going to start the show like that. They didn't change the format of their show.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they were going to start the show by having the band come out and play. Everyone would be like, what the hell is going on? And they're like, boom, Rage 2. Out of nowhere. And everyone would be like, oh my god, I haven't seen Rage in 7 or 8 years.
I know.
So...
Yeah, I have to pick at least a couple battles here. First of all, the Elder Scrolls reveal was fucking pointless. There was no reason to even have it there because we were given literally nothing.
I disagree with you.
Now we know it exists. I mean,
that's all we knew they
for.
weren't going to cancel that series.
Well, no, but I wasn't expecting them to come out now. I mean, you're coming up with a new Fallout, then you dropped Fallout 76. You dropped.
We're going to fight on that.
You dropped. You ended up dropping Elder Scrolls Blades, which actually didn't look terrible at all. Actually
it
looked
looked
pretty
shit
fucking
to me.
good. Then
I had no interest in it.
the Elder Scrolls Online boost. You have Doom Eternal. You have Quake Champions coming out. The Prey DLC, which I've heard is fantastic. You dropped the new Wolfenstein game.
Hey, by the way, Doom Eternal will have game. They announced on Twitter, Doom Eternal will have gameplay at QuakeCon.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, but then you drop the Wolfenstein Youngblood,
which I am so interested in, by the way, because that's a co-op game.
Yeah.
And I love the angle that they're taking this series. To be honest, I love Wolfenstein. Eric knows that. Mm-hmm. I love the series. It's really fun.
The misogynistic community can fuck right the fuck off.
I don't care about that. If they're good characters, strong characters, I don't care what gender they are.
People get triggered by everything.
I don't give it
everyone's got to have a fucking excuse to whine.
But like,
his twin daughters, and they're in London, by the way.
For Elder Scrolls. Mm-hmm. Like,
Elder Scrolls
they gave us literally nothing besides a title. That's literally all they did.
That's all I needed. I understand you have your issues with Fallout 76, Brandon, and we can discuss that briefly without getting too much of a tangent on it. Because that is probably the biggest game that me and Tom are personally looking forward to, and we will definitely debate you with that because I love, it's fine with that. But the thing about it is, me and Tom were already hyped about Fallout 76, and then for me personally, because Tom didn't quite play Skyrim as much as I've played Skyrim. I have about 400 hours on Skyrim throughout a bunch of different players.
400 hours on Fallout
then this man buys Skyrim VR basically for my birthday because he has motion sickness, he can't play it. And then you sit there and you drop fucking Elder Scrolls 6 on me? Holy sheep shit. I was so freaking excited, man. You have no idea. I was so hyped for it. That's all I need to know that it's coming. To know that you're not going to give me another Skyrim game. Of course, if the game starts off and you sit next to an old man on the campfire and he says, let me tell you a story, and I wind my ass back on the back of that wagon, I'll be fucking livid. But I will still play that game.
Just to fuck with you. They should do it just to fuck with you.
But so I'm going to put a 5-minute cap on this debate if we can get there, because we've still got Ubisoft, PlayStation, and Nintendo to get to.
All right, Nintendo conference, smash. There you go. You got the Nintendo conference.
That's a good point.
I wanted to talk about presentation versus content,
but let's talk Fallout 76 here, because that's the game that's coming out the soonest out of most of the games that was revealed.
And the community is already controversial as hell.
Well, and here's the thing. I can understand people's worries about Fallout 76. Here's why I feel like I'm so pissed off at some of the hate that it's getting. First of all we know is what they've said. We haven't seen any gameplay. We don't know how it's actually going to work. This could be fucking fantastic.
We did see gameplay. Yeah.
Well, we did see gameplay, but
it looked like it plays like Fallout 4.
Yeah. And it does based on the way it looks, it might be better to play it in third person versus first person, depending on how you want to look on that. But
you can play it in both, but that's just...
But the problem with this game, or the problem that I have with the hate that it's getting, is people are going into it expecting Fallout 5. This is not Fallout 5. This is Fallout 76.
But this is a new
experience.
Yes.
This is a new experience. It's canon. It's a prequel. You actually have heard about Fallout 76 if you actually do your research when you're talking about things. So this isn't something they pulled out of their ass.
It was in Fallout 4, actually, on the TV.
So you knew this game was coming, or you knew this had happened.
Yeah.
And it makes sense that there's not a bunch of NPCs running around at the beginning of the game, because you're the first fucking vault that came out of here. But the thing the thing that people don't seem to realize is there was a lot of people that was outside the vaults that managed to survive it. Not everyone.
Most were ghoulified. Some survived as humans. They got lucky.
Yeah, they got lucky, and they were they were in low radiation zones.
Low radiation zones, not in the immediate.
Because I believe, if I'm not mistaken,
they didn't carpet bomb the United States with nukes.
Yeah, and because if I'm not mistaken, wasn't Megaton a place that was?
Yeah,
the bomb that was supposed to go off,
but didn't go off.
But no, I mean, Megaton was a city that was, the bomb stopped there, and Megaton was built around the bomb, but the people there didn't come out of a vault,
And the troops moved out and worshipped the bomb.
Yeah, but the thing about Fallout 76 that I'm so excited about is, contrary to what all the whiny fanboys and the big jocks that think they're gamers and all that shit that want to talk on Twitter, which is already a volatile place to begin with, I am so excited about the concept of a Fallout cooperative experience. Playing Fallout with your friends, do you know how fucking fun this is going to be? Like, fuck the NPCs. I don't give a shit about them.
I do.
I don't care about all that. The fact that I can wander around and explore an untapped wasteland with a bunch of friends. You drop this thing cross-platform to where you can play with PC, because Xbox and PS4 aren't going to get along. But if you drop this thing to where Xbox and PC,
it's just Sony, I want to say.
Yeah, it's pretty much. Well, Sony does play with PC. But if you make it so that way Xbox and PC and PS4 and PC can play together, holy crap!
I'll probably play with people, yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, at that point, even because I know you're a PC Master Race kind of guy, Brandon, but I have a lot of other friends that play mostly PC, and they're like, "Yo, if we get this thing cross-platform, this could be fun." Like, people want Fallout 76 to be Fallout 5 so bad, and it's like people want Fallout 4 to be replicated or Fallout 3 to be replicated. I don't want the same experience. I want something different. Like, I can play Fallout 3 if I want a Fallout 3 experience. I can play Fallout 4 if I want a Fallout 4 experience. I can play Fallout New Vegas if I want a Fallout New Vegas experience.
If you wanted the greatest experience in Fallout history.
Exactly, there you go.
But I want a Fallout 76 experience. That's my opinion on it.
My issues with, because I've read some more articles ever since it was released to make sure I was confirming shit before I said it. Because like when the way they worded it, I was like, wait, are there friendly NPCs or are they not? And they said, yeah, there's literally no friendly NPCs. And I'm like,
keep an open mind, because for a fact that DLC is coming. And they've announced that they've already announced that there's going to be free DLC post-launch. I did read that somewhere.
But this is one thing. So this is the largest map we've ever had, to my knowledge. It's 4 times bigger than Fallout 4. Mm-hmm. The servers hold like 30 people, so it's going to be empty as fuck.
I heard 16 to 32, but
I heard between 24 to 30.
Okay, yeah, that might be accurate. Yeah.
And so I like the idea where, okay, if you're your server, you leave the server, your progress doesn't die, and then you can take your camp with you. And that's cool
That's
and everything.
the part that, you know what? That could be how it works in. Because I was sitting there thinking, I was like, how is that going to work if your stuff doesn't, if your progress doesn't stop?
Yeah,
but
and there's no death penalty that I know of.
Well, yeah, because all you do if you kill somebody else, you get caps for killing them, but they don't lose their inventory.
Yeah, no.
But what I always wondered was, how would your stuff transfer over? Because there's technically no servers. It's like you can randomly pop up at random different areas, random different servers. You're not locked to one server, like
Yeah, I'm assuming you can join up with your friends if you want to join their server.
Yeah, but actually, now that you think about it, that the system they showed off, that camp system, actually probably how it works. You basically just hit the button and it loads all your stuff back in there, and you hit the button and release it. That actually probably how that's going to work then.
Yeah, but it's like, I guess it's with what comes with a brand. It's like, if you hear StarCraft, you think very fast-paced RTS, your 3 factions, fucking heart fucking
actually,
attack.
When I hear StarCraft, I hear gunshots going off on my head. But
yeah,
I want to kill myself.
If you hear Warcraft, you're thinking before WoW, when there was Warcraft, an RTS series, and that's what you thought of, and then there was the WoW because the lore has been all over the place. But when you have a brand and you are known for something, like Arch Warhammer, he's known for Warhammer shit. When you have a brand, when you have a series that I would say is pretty, Fallout, I would say is if not close to being a legendary franchise. It has expectations to be a post-apocalyptic RPG. Now, you can fiddle around with that, but it has to fit that definition. And when you go from a very story-driven with, depending on which game, branching paths, interesting characters, morality, factions, that's something like, fuck, I'm gonna miss factions. I always loved which one of these guys is like the most dickish, so I can join them and fuck over everyone else.
Time to make your own factions.
Yeah,
with XX Pussy Slayer 69 XX.
I saw that meme.
You can create the raiders.
Here's a game. I actually read this this morning. Actually, a good game to probably compare Fallout 76 to is GTA Online.
God, no, not GTA Online.
GTA Online is insanely popular. It might not be everyone's cup of tea, but it is insanely popular. And this is going to sound really weird, but the role-playing community on GTA Online is massive. I have a friend of mine, Dose of Dad. Anyone that has ever seen me on the Sea of Thieves streams with Matt at Create You, Dose of Dad is a really awesome dude, and he does Mixer. And he does 2 roleplay streams on his Mixer.
Nice.
And yesterday, he got like 25 new followers just off of his roleplay streams. It's a huge community that's into that type of shit.
It is. I can see that working.
The thing about a lot of games, and this is an honest fact, and this kind of goes into a little bit of the PC gaming show. One of the games, the only game on the PC gaming show that caught my attention personally, outside of that really cool Shark RPG, was Jurassic World Evolution. And the reason it caught my eye wasn't because of the show, but the streaming community took it. And the streaming community has made that game so hyped right now, everybody's talking about it.
Yeah.
Fallout 76 scream me.
So did Sea of Thieves, but...
And Sea of Thieves is still played regularly. Every time I get on Sea of Thieves, I run into 50 fucking boats that want to fuck my ass up. And so obviously people are still playing the game. I still see people streaming it. The price tag we're not going to get into. I haven't... we're not going to get into the price tag. But the fact of the matter is, it's still played. Regardless of how much it costs, people still bought it, people still play it. Because streamers keep streaming it.
True.
So everyone wants to play it because they're streaming. You can shit on streamers for not having a real job all you want to,
quote unquote.
But the streaming community can make or break a game. Another good one.
These days, I would say you're right.
Another good one. Detroit Become Human. It was a hyped game,
such a good game,
but it blew the fuck up when people like Jacksepticeye started playing it. Mini Lad did a playthrough. I follow a lot of people on Twitch. I believe it was at one point a couple weeks ago, I had 10 people that I followed were live on Twitch, and like 7 of them were playing Detroit Become Human. The streaming community made that game, and Fallout 76 I can see Fallout 76 fall on the exact same line. Even if the launch is rough, it's going to blow up because the streaming community is going to take it over.
That actually
also, can I mention one thing? Sorry, go ahead.
That I was reading an article, and it actually, if you want to make a stealth-based PvP character, that actually might not be viable, because according to a thing they did with Todd Howard, the way he worded it seems like it might just... Basically, you'll have a thing over your head telling all the other players where you are at all times. Like, you literally can't sneak up on people because they know where the fuck you are.
We'll see about that. We'll see if that's going to work. Keep in mind, there is going to be a beta. Yeah. Keep in mind, there is going to be a beta.
Yeah, that's going to be the defining factor of that game is how good the beta is.
Okay, we'll let Tom talk about it.
I was going to mention that for the first time in my memory, Bethesda's actually running a beta. You can just tell like how much they want this game to succeed, and I'm just really looking forward to it. I mean, it just looks like a whole lot of fun, just this untamed wasteland. And when you said like there's no NPCs, I'm like, okay, well, if you're the first people to come out of the vault, and everyone who comes out of the vault is like, there's not going to be like 100 people coming out of one vault. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, if you're one of 30 people on a server, there's 30 people that come out of the vault. You're it. And that's like, some people miraculously survived. I'm sure we'll see some ghouls along the way, as we traverse the map that's 4 times bigger. But I'm fine with most of the things that you meet in the wasteland being hostile towards you. Because that just makes sense to me. As far as, like, you're the first people to come out of the vault into this untamed wasteland. Yeah, everything's going to want to kill you, including the environment, including that plant over there. I mean...
And then, of course,
it's not going to be safe. It's not going to be easy. This is going to be a tough environment to go into after it got nuked 20 years ago.
That's true. And you also... West Virginia is a perfect place just because of all the fucking lore they can pull out of their ass.
Oh, yeah. You saw the Mothman teasers. You saw the Beast of Grafton teaser. I mean, there's a lot of stuff.
They're encouraging you to actually just launch nukes because it opens up new resources on the map and will actually stop some of the Scorch Beasts from spawning.
Yeah. So, I mean, if the only objective is finding the nukes and doing that, then if we have to make the rest of the objectives, like you could go around collecting chems or making chems and become a chem salesperson if you wanted to.
Maybe.
You could build a settlement and go raid other settlements, and you could become raiders if you wanted to.
You can make your own megaton. Hey, I'm running a city here.
You could run a city. You could have a city.
I'm sure it's all the perk.
At one time.
That's it.
At one time.
But they've combined a bunch of them, and according to one card, someone noticed and pointed this out on Twitter. I forget your name, if you're out there somewhere. But they highlighted that one of the perk cards indicated that skills are coming back.
So hacking and repair and
stuff
science,
like that. Medicine, guns, stuff like that. Which is great because I missed that. That was the worst part of Fallout 4 for me. I know they're trying to streamline like the skills and perk system and the special system to try to combine it all. I know they're trying to streamline it, but you couldn't build a character with that. Like in Fallout New Vegas, I love it because you can make character builds. You can have a gunslinger. You can have a stealth character. You can have a doctor. You can have a combat medic if you want to. An energy weapon specialist. A scientist. A survivalist. You could have anything you wanted in that game because you could build with skills. And I really hope that's not just a cock tease. I really hope they're actually bringing skills back into this game because that would be really cool. Because imagine having like a squad of 4, right? You have one person that specializes in medicine. You have one person that is like a sneak attack sniper kind of specialist. You have a gunslinger, and then you have like a charismatic individual that can cast speech checks.
Well,
you can have everyone building for a character that benefits the entire squad, and that's what I'm really excited about, is coordinating with your friends to create like the perfect 4-man squad. You can come across any situation and succeed.
I hope you can add some like meme emotes so you can literally dab on people as you nuke their settlement.
I don't want dances in this game. I don't
we don't want this to be Fortnite. All right, so
I don't want people like randomly dancing after they nuke me. and watch them turn to a ghoul.
They'll sit there and start doing the Dougie on you while you sit there.
Then you just hear their Pip-Boy like beeping because of the radiation, and then they just suddenly die while dabbing.
Dab on him, bam, it kills him. That's exactly how you should go whenever you dab.
He's
You should
just on the ground
self-combust.
in the dab position. And then
Alright,
people walk by his corpse like he died
So-
the way he lives.
All right, so we're gonna skip ahead a little bit here. Like I said, we're gonna skip the PC gaming show just because I felt like it was rather tame. It wasn't bad, it wasn't good, but
It was what we expected.
it was what we expected. More Just Cause 4. They went more in depth with it. Talking about the port for Hitman 2. Again, Hitman 2's in the PC gaming show, but not Square Enix's show. But I'm not going to get into that.
This is like casually, we're going to tap you on the shoulder and go graphics. And
Yeah.
Okay.
We're going to sit there and suck on the PC Master Race's penis again here, and we're just going to coddle them for a while. But although I will say that Shark RPG actually looked pretty fucking cool. But
you want to talk Ubisoft?
I can't really think of anything Ubisoft threw out there that really blew me away. Rainbow Six
Beyond
Siege.
Good and Evil 2. I hate you.
Oh yeah, no, that is something good. Beyond Good and Evil 2, actually, I will point that out. I'm so excited for that game. I actually played the first one back on early PS2.
That was early PS2.
And that game was so fantastic. And what I loved about the trailer they showed in Ubisoft's conference is the one thing that I was complaining about the first trailer they showed last year was the pig. They did not show the pig in the first trailer. It was oh my god! I actually hate myself for not remembering his fucking name. I want to say it's PJ, but it's probably not.
Roast him in the comments if you
roast me in the comments. I love the game and I cannot remember that dude's name. Fuck. It's either Pete or it's Pete. Fuck. It doesn't matter. I don't have time to look it up right now. But
everything else, the Division 2 was
the Division. The Division sucked. It
looks like Division 1.
It looked like they took Division 1 and just stretched it over.
Division 2 is the pointless come out. I'm sorry.
It said, look, we're gonna stretch it and see how far this concept can go without failing. We're like, Ubisoft, you did that last time. And you're like, no, we didn't. Shut up.
I will say one more thing about Ubisoft's conference is I have not been excited about an Assassin's Creed game since Black Flag, and Odyssey looks fantastic.
Odyssey is fucking fantastic. That's a great setting.
Yeah, the Odyssey looks fantastic.
I can see it working.
For Honor, you're reviving a dead game. Skull and Bones, I
appreciate the try.
Skull and
Bones is a coin toss for me. It looked
fantastic. It looked like what Sea of Thieves could have been, and then
on the other hand,
control the boat.
And on the other hand, it looked like Assassin's Creed Black Flag without the Assassin's Creed.
Yeah. It looks like you have boat combat and that's it. And
I'm not sure that's gonna work.
I don't want a fucking railroad tycoon, but you're in the water where you're just picking up shit. It's not a game that I'll spend $60 for. It's not for me. Moving on to I guess let's hit PlayStations real quick.
Let's do it.
Jesus Christ, we could spend we could spend an hour on PlayStation, but we only have 15 minutes to get through PlayStation and Nintendo.
Let's start with the Lesbians of Us Part 2.
Let's start with the game that it's okay. I want to say this. I'm prepared for even more hate in the comments here. I have not played The Last of Us 1. If Robert and John see this video and comment one more goddamn time that I need to play the game, I'm well aware I'm going to play the game. Rob, I know you're listening. I'm going to play the game. But
you haven't played it yet?
No, fuck off! Alright, but
I haven't either, but
The Last of Us 2 won me over. Now here's the thing. I have watched brief playthroughs of The Last of Us. I've seen the first chapter or two.
All the feels.
Yeah, and it's powerful. I'm not crazy about horror games. I never have been. The Last of Us has a lot of horror elements. But I think I judged the game a little bit early, so I'm going to give it a try. I am planning on playing it. I have a friend of mine who's letting me borrow it, and sometime in the near future, so I'm going to play it to prepare for Last of Us 2. Might stream it, don't know. But Last of Us Part 2 looked fantastic. It looked absolutely amazing. It looked graphically amazing. It looked like it played sort of like the Tomb Raider games, and I love the new Tomb Raider series. So that was very appealing for me. Speaking of, the new Tomb Raider game also looked fantastic. That was mentioned in Xbox's show. But everyone seems so hype about the Resident Evil 2 remake.
I'm actually pretty excited about that.
Yeah, y'all could talk about it because
it's a good game.
I mean, again, I was never big into the Resident Evil franchise like everyone else was, but
I played them briefly. I didn't like get super into it, but I understand why people are hyped about it. It's a classic series. People love it, and the first Resident Evil was remastered a while ago, and everyone's been pretty much on their hands and knees begging for 2 to come out in the same way. Mm-hmm. And then they finally said, "Yeah, here's Resident Evil 2 completely remastered," and everyone just got, collectively wet at the same time.
Yeah,
good
much.
for them though.
So I mean,
for giving the gamers what they wanted.
It's good. I mean, it's good. And then I want to talk about Ghost of Tsushima as well, because holy shit, that game looks amazing, and I'm really looking forward to playing it. And it's nice to see what oh god, who made it? Someone else talk. I'm gonna Google. I forget who makes it.
Oh yeah.
I don't want to say something that.
Well, he's looking at that. One game that made me extremely uncomfortable and confused was Death Stranding. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck's going on.
I want to play.
Sorry,
I want to play that game just because it looks so fucking weird.
I'll talk about that in a second.
Okay.
But Sucker Punch is the one that.
Ghost
of Tsushima,
Sucker Punch.
And they made the Sly games.
That is very true.
And they also made the Infamous series.
Isn't a Sly movie coming out?
It's supposed to come out 5 different times. I don't fucking know anymore. I know Sly 5 is supposed to be in the making by Sanjaru Studio, Sanzaro, something like that.
Right.
But yeah, they gave the IP to them. But Ghost of Tsushima, it's nice to see what Sucker Punch has been working on since Infamous Second Son. Nice to see that they're still alive and well, and I love the company. I love their games. Infamous is one of my all-time favorite series. And Ghost of Tsushima just looked amazing. It looked like they really focused in on legitimate swordplay in it, and like the way of the samurai and all that. And I can't wait to see more about the story. It looks beautiful, fantastic. Like I said, the swordplay looked amazing. That's a game I'm really looking forward to. And thank you so much, Sony, for. I thought they got rid of Sucker Punch, to be honest, but it's really nice to see that they're back.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh wait,
and another game that I'm really looking forward to is a game that I feel like everyone's now looking forward to. That's Spider-Man.
I thought we were talking Death Stranding.
I pretty much mentioned all I could think about of Death Stranding. It's a weird fucking game that I'm oddly turned on by.
What I got from the trailer, and I'm going to talk very slowly, mainly for my understanding, is that you're some kind of courier in some kind of post-apocalyptic world that carries
New Vegas
healthy children to a safe zone from like a post-apocalyptic like wasteland, and there's safe zones all over the place, and you're a courier that carries like healthy babies to these safe zones.
I guess
the main character seems to be either trapped in his own mind, or he's slowly going insane because of the task that he has to perform. Maybe he's seen a lot of healthy babies not make it to the safe zones. I mean, I know that would make me lose my mind slowly if I had to repeatedly do this, even if I failed a few times. That's not a fun life, especially if this, if it's this like post-apocalyptic, like harsh world. I'm guessing that's what it is, and all like the psychedelic, psychological things you see in the trailers is him like losing his mind. Maybe like the woman that's following him was like the mother of one of the babies that he had to take it from her. And
I feel like I'll be honest, if we try to break this trailer down, I feel like we'll confuse ourselves more.
We'll be here forever.
So I said briefly. I just wanted to say that because that's what I got from the trailer. That's what I think it is.
I didn't get it.
I hope that made any sense.
I got nothing from the trailer. I got this game looks weird as shit, and I want to play it, and I don't know why. But I want to play it.
What was it called? Smash Force? The one that had like all the anime fighter characters in one big game that everyone lost their shit over?
Yes.
Yeah,
like,
I think that was.
I don't really play fighting games much anymore, but I know like people lost their shit over it.
That looked like an arena fighter game, so I'm curious to see what that's going to look like.
How the fuck are they getting the guy from Death Note in there? How does that work? The Shinigami's just going to do all the fighting for him, I guess. Because Light was never a fighter.
Maybe a special move is that you can just take one person out of the game.
Yeah, just writes the name of the fucking book and kills him.
The close up from writing the name and he just dies. The other person just dies.
Yep. The last thing we're talking about for Sony's conference is Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Really briefly, because trying to keep this thing to an hour. Spider-Man was fantastic. I was a little bit upset that I didn't see Venom. When you throw out that many when you throw out
that
many
nerd wet dream.
You threw that many villains out there and you left out the best one. I'm upset, but I'm still going to play you because Spider-Man is my all-time favorite comic, and if you shit on Spider-Man, you're dead to me. But I'm really excited for that game because it looked like it was extremely well done. It looks like the gameplay was extremely well done, which it's kind of hard to screw up Spider-Man gameplay, and how Spider-Man, the most recent one, did that. I'm not sure how, but it looked fantastic. It looked like the story was extremely complex. There's so much unknowns with that series, with that game. I'm so excited to play it.
I want to see if they actually do like a chapter for all those villains. Like their own like story and like their own like I guess dungeon, if that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like their own chapters and stuff. I want to see individual like full blown stories for each one of them. That would make the game very long, but that's what players want, I think.
Yeah. Especially in an age of multiplayer, you make a really long ass single player game, you'll survive forever.
And I also want to briefly mention the two other games. Neo 2 looked really cool. I'm not into those kind of like hardcore like Dark Souls style games, but I got to say that looked amazing. It looked really cool, like graphics wise and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So I recognized how good that looked. And Control, which is another one that looks very promising, but it looked like it was very preliminary what we saw at E3.
Mm-hmm.
Did any of you catch that or?
I didn't really catch Control very much. It was a game that I kind of saw it and I was like, oh, okay, this one I don't recognize it. I'm gonna kind of let this one breeze by me here. I didn't really pay too much attention to that one. But
yeah, it's by the same studio that made Alan Wake and Quantum Break.
Okay, all right.
Named Remedy. And it looks like this is what they've been working on for a long time. It looked like you play as like agents and you have like these supernatural abilities, like these common superpowers, but they're common people.
Mm-hmm.
It reminded me a lot of you guys remember the series Heroes?
Yeah,
a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
It reminded me kind of that, with like these normal people having superpowers, but not like this full blown I'm Superman and I just rub my dick on everyone's face. It was more like the I'm just guy who had a 9-to-5 job who suddenly realized I can lift things up with my mind.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Or I can teleport, or I can become invisible at will, but I can't really control it because until yesterday I was working a 9-to-5 job in an office.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it looked kind of like that. I'm keeping my eye on that one. It looked pretty interesting. Alan Wake was a good game back in the day, if anyone remembers it. Very psychological.
Mm-hmm.
If you're into psychological horror,
mm-hmm.
It was really good.
I think, yeah, it looked really good. For time purposes, though, I want to get to Nintendo really quickly because it's the last thing I want to talk about before we fully into stuff.
Let me smash.
I do want to mention one thing from a personal standpoint. Holy shit, I'm buying a Switch for the sole purpose of getting Fire Emblem. That Fire Emblem game was because I'm a huge Fire Emblem fan. I have
I've never touched the series.
I had the last 3 on the 3DS, and seeing a Fire Emblem game with a hack and slash concept like that, and it was a unique new story, new characters. I'm hoping they bring romances back because the latest game didn't really have any.
You gotta have your waifus.
But gotta have my waifus, man. Something has got to beat. Nothing has beaten the Tarja combination from Fire Emblem Awakening, because you can have your kids in that game and they go back in time and they fight with you, and that was a fantastic. Oh yeah, dude, Fire Emblem Awakening is one of my favorite games.
It's extremely interesting.
Fire Emblem Awakening is hilarious. Yeah,
it all makes sense, and it pisses me off that it makes sense.
Yeah, it pisses you off that it makes sense. And then the following games, the Fire Emblem Fates and Birthright, they're basically the same game, but there's 2 families that are fighting, and in one game you join one family, in the other you join the other.
In one game you say fuck both of you.
Yeah, and then there's a third game that you can download that basically fuck both of you. I'm going to do my own thing, and then certain family members from each side join you.
That's the most complete.
That's the most complete one, yeah. But that one, your kids come back, but it's kind of a bullshit way. It's like, oh hey, your kid is magically here from the future, even though it has nothing to do with the plot. Whereas in Awakening, your character, all your characters can have a romance, and the kids come back in time. But it actually fits the storyline. It makes sense why they do. I hope they bring something like that back with this new Fire Emblem game, because that's why I loved Awakening so much, was because there were just so many mechanics thrown in one game, but it never overwhelmed you.
But guys, Ridley's too big to be in Smash.
Oh, we have Bowser.
How the fuck is Ridley and Snake?
Friend, they
It's
nerfed
so
Solid
good.
Snake. Have you
I
seen
have-
how they
man.
flattened
I
his
have
ass?
I have never seen a character reveal that made me go,
What the fuck?
fucking how? I'm okay with it, but
Sakurai's
How?
like, never ask me for anything again.
but they didn't put Willy. What about Waluigi?
No, never ask him for anything.
Where's
again.
Waluigi, Tom?
He's a trophy.
They put fucking Daisy in the game
He's an assist trophy.
as a fucking shadow character, but they left out Waluigi.
He's assist trophy. He's in the game.
Out to the shadow.
I don't know why people are freaking out so much. He's in the game, guys.
I'm so upset.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna play Super Mario
You
Party.
should have
and just be-
specified that you wanted him as a playable character. So your fault, not Sakurai.
But let's be honest, guys. Nintendo's giving us what we always wanted, and that's Overcooked 2.
Hey,
Oh,
man.
it's what you cut out there for a minute.
No, we wanted Fortnite on the
Overcooked
Switch.
2.
That's what everyone wanted.
Oh yeah, Fortnite on the Switch. That's what we really wanted.
Yep.
That's it.
Oh yeah, you need that.
Anyone ready for Super Mario Party?
That's gonna be fun.
'Cause I'm actually
And
looking
am
forward
I
to
the
it.
only one that doesn't hate the concept of Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee? Everyone seems to hate that concept. I actually don't mind it.
I stopped caring about Nintendo stuff ages ago, so I don't have an opinion.
Yeah, but anyway,
Um,
yeah, Nintendo can pretty much be summed up by Super Smash Brothers basically smashed our faces in. Fire Emblem
Yeah.
Awakening gave the Fire Emblem fans like myself a nice little wet dream, but ultimately Smash basically stole the
Stole the
show
show,
and
Yeah, it
sealed the
drowned
deal
out
that
everything
sealed the
else.
deal that I'm getting a Switch when I can.
So, like, one last thing I noticed is that it was kind of skipped over about the new Jurassic World game where you manage your own park and shit. Apparently, it's actually really good.
Oh
Like,
no, it is. But I don't think anyone would have got the game if it wasn't for the streaming community. That's my
As far
honest
as city builders go, I feel like
Possibly.
it's doing really well for itself.
yeah. And again, I mean, again, it looked
It's a very,
great, but
very, like-
I don't think it would have caught on if it wasn't for the streaming community.
It's a very saturated game genre because it's so easy to make a city builder.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to be a AAA studio to make a city builder.
So this has dinosaurs that try to fuck your park over.
But yeah, this
Natural
is
disasters.
a AAA studio making a city builder game, so I appreciate it.
Yeah,
But-
I saw a video on it. It looked pretty good.
I'm sure we're probably leaving some things out that you guys might have wanted to hear, but unfortunately, I don't have 10 hours to dissect every single one of these damn conferences, even though...
We could spend 3 hours talking about Fallout 76 more. It's a miracle we cut that conversation when we did.
Yeah,
really
that
is.
could have gone so much
Because
longer.
I was waiting for Brandon to respond to what I said, and then Eric said, "No, we're moving on."
No, god damn it. I have to keep structure in this facility. But anyway, we
No.
are literally at the hour mark, I believe, or give or take
Yep.
a couple minutes. So, Brandon, thank you so much for joining me. Really enjoyed
course.
having you here. It's always fun. We'll definitely try not to wait 3 months for the next gaming podcast. We could talk more about, hopefully next time. But the next time we do it, the beta will be out for Fallout 76. Please, God Howard, please
It's
give me
gonna
that.
be
give-
in August.
No,
I
give me that
fucking
beta
guarantee-
right the fuck now, please.
I
For the love of
guarantee you it's
God.
gonna be mid to late
Dear
August.
God, Howard, give me that beta now, please.
August is gonna be beta month. We have a lot of beta.
More than likely.
You have to
Battlefield has a
pre-order
beta.
to get into the beta, though. That kind of pisses me off.
Doesn't piss me
I
off.
mean,
Guess we
it
pre-ordered it
happens
yesterday.
every single one.
Oh.
You might open it in like the last few days.
Yeah.
Oh, we didn't get to the Black Ops 4 controversy. Damn it.
I have no interest in talking about Black Ops 4. I'm kind of glad we skipped that one, honestly. That's just my own personal opinion.
I forgot about that. Fuck.
But that's okay.
Just
We
shit
have
on
we have plenty of ammunition for another podcast because this basically decided to dump a whole nice load on us. So
And we missed so much on Battlefield 5. Damn it.
again, we will be back probably in a couple weeks. Thank you guys so much for listening this far in the podcast. I love your faces. Please hit like and subscribe down below if you want to hear more. Also, if you guys are interested in me bringing back the sports podcast, that was always a really fun one to do with Zach and James. We'll definitely bring that one back as well for you guys. So, once again, my name is Eric.
My name is Tom.
I'm Brandon.
And this is the Nomad and the Lootbox podcast. We're going to close this thing down and reopen it another time. Thank you guys so much. Have a great day.
Bye.